Good evening and welcome to the 2021 International Studying Leadership Conference. I have to say, it's really good to be back after a year of hiatus, and thank you all very much for joining us this evening. For those of you joining as conference delegates, please also try to stick around for our first paper sessions later this evening. For those joining these free keynote addresses, welcome to the conversation. It's great to have your company. We're going to get to Grace and Bridget in a moment, but for now, a few words about the inspiration for this conference. The idea for the conference came from a desire to make trouble, to push our luck a little bit, albeit with the intention of building more knowledge and practical knowledge about the kind of leadership we need for these times. And if the past 20 months have taught us anything, it's that we desperately need better leadership. Although we hear plenty of heartwarming examples of people accomplishing extraordinary things under difficult circumstances, not least in the worlds of healthcare, science, and climate activism, these are indeed very serious times, presenting acute, if not quite yet morbid symptoms. So do we have the leadership we need to address the massive issues of our times? The imagination and collective leadership necessary to do something meaningful about the climate crisis that's already ravaging many of the poorest parts of the world. The march of technology into the workplace that disempowers and de-skills almost as much as it empowers. The persistence and evolution of multiple inequalities in our societies. Maybe the fact that a teenage girl, Greta Thunberg, felt that things were so bad that she had to miss school to make the point that she may not have a future on a livable planet, should send us the clear message that we need radically different approaches to and thinking on leadership. And that's where you come in. Because while we can't possibly solve issues of this magnitude over the next couple of days, we can offer the possibility of a reboot for leadership studies to help it on its way, to make it more relevant for our times. Rebooting leadership, the conference theme, does suggest something more radical than a reset or rethink. Whether you agree with that or not, I hope this framing provokes dialogue and debate. The idea for this conference is a distillation of dialogue and debate over recent years, and I want to state that this is a collective effort, a point in time of ongoing conversations I've been lucky to be part of. And the number of people involved in those conversations are probably a little too many to reel off just in this opening few minutes. But of course, the conversations will go on, and this reboot is meant to instigate many, many more conversations. It's precisely because we wanted these kinds of conversations that we established the Research into Employment, Empowerment and Futures Academic Centre of Excellence at the Open University. The centre, which also hosts this conference, is committed to engaged research that explores the potential for freedom, justice and equality in future work. We're particularly focused on the climate crisis, learning from the perspective of workers and organising around housing crises. The centre gives us a place where we can ask big and radical questions about leadership. We can push things further, keep making trouble. And speaking of which, the OU has always been a place where we can think big, opening out learning and sharing innovative knowledge that can help change the world. So I'm now going to hand over to my wonderful colleague, Vangen, who's going to tell you a little bit more about the work we do here. Over to you, Siv.
Hi all, good evening or good morning, wherever you are. So thank you, Owain, for your words of inspiration for this exciting conference. It's a pleasure to be joining you and welcoming all participants this evening or morning, wherever you are. So my name is Vangen. I am a professor of collaborative leadership, but for the next few minutes, I'll be wearing my head of school hat because that gives me the legitimate excuse to brag a little bit about our institution and our school. So the Open University is unique. It was created in 1969 specifically to open up university education for all. Our current student body exceeds 200,000 students. Our alumni are based in over 150 countries, and we work actively across all 4 nations in the UK. Our social mission, though, means that we are open to anyone, anywhere, reaching thousands of people who would otherwise not be able to learn, not just through our formal curriculum, but also pioneering new ways of learning, including our free learning platform, Open Learn, and our BBC partnership, which together reach sort of hundreds of millions of learners worldwide every year. We founded Future Learn, which educates 10 million learners over 2,400 courses and with over 175 partners around the world. Equally, our research changes the lives of millions of people. It not only underpins how and what we teach, but the knowledge that we develop is addressing real problems in society, such as helping stroke patients walk again or creating smart cities that trial new environmentally friendly technology. As one of the top 3 UK university space centres, we literally help mankind's mission to discover worlds beyond the Earth. So our business school follows the university's example in its endeavour to be distinctive through research, teaching and engagement. In the last 12 months, we have been re-accredited with the triple crown of AACSB, EQUIS and AMBER accreditation, which places us in the top 1% of business schools worldwide. And for fellow business school academics here, you know this means that we are focused on continuous improvement, placing the students' needs front and center, from concept and design of programs through to learning experience and beyond into the alumni community. And it is fundamentally about innovation, creating an environment for innovative research and for researchers to thrive and create impact through their work. In the business school, our academic centers of excellence are designed to do just that by coalescing research, teaching and engagement. They're all closely aligned with the university's social mission, and we are so proud that REEF, as our academic centre for excellence of research into employment, empowerment and futures, is hosting this incredible conference, and the breadth of perspectives, experiences and insight that you all bring. As Owain said, a critical and creative examination of leadership studies has never been more timely. The pandemic and wider external environment has for many changed our personal and work landscapes beyond recognition, but also create a space for new ideas to germinate and opportunities to try new approaches. As societies and workplaces are experiencing profound change, driven by developments in technology, shift in geopolitical power, and the climate emergency, we have the opportunity to choose how we respond, either in ways that disempower or in ways that offer a more empowering future for all members of society. This conference will bring together the collective power of the ISLC community of scholars and practitioners in friendship, openness, and deep connection. I very much look forward to meeting with you all, sharing in your debates, learning and collaborating. And I wish you all a wonderful conference. Over to you, Owain, I think.
Thanks, Siv. Lovely words. Really appreciated. So now on to Grace Blakely. Grace is going to talk for about half an hour, and then we'll take questions and comments for half an hour after that, after which I'll hand over to my colleague Daniel Haslam, who's going to be chairing the session with Bridget Carroll. So Grace is one of the rare figures in public life who has serious, radical and substantial things to say, but who's also committed to reaching a wide audience. Her work is read and engaged with by activists, workers, policy leaders and academics. Her book, Stolen, although at this time of year, I kind of want to call it Stolen, offers a diagnosis of the seriousness and scale of the financialization of life, but also a path beyond it. Her book, The Corona Crash, offers a powerful framing for progressives and radicals to think their way through this present pandemic and economic crisis. And next year, she'll release a book through Bloomsbury on how we can democratize our economies. Grace's podcast, which I listen to every week, along with the Sopranos podcast, I must say, opens up radical thought to wider audiences, as do her numerous media appearances. This evening, she's going big, addressing the leadership we need for the 20th century. We can do a time machine, but definitely for the 21st century. Grace, thanks so much for being with us, and it's over to you.